Hey guys, welcome. Thought I'd do another video here. If you checked out, guys, I did another reenactment earlier. Anna filmed for me, doing the Norman Osborn mirror scene from Spider-Man, which we watched the other day on TV. Um, and so I was like, oh, that's the one I can do next. So that's, last week I was toying around with doing something for Rocky Balboa and stuff like that, which I still may do, but I was like, I didn't have time to really memorize it and get it down. So I thought, well, let's just wait on that one. But then once I watched it, I'm like, okay, I know what scene I need to do next. So check that out, guys. It's up to 42 views already, so check it out. And it's a short, so, it's not too much, more than 60 seconds, I think. So I try to do a couple of shorts for the channel, do some acting since I'm an actor. And if you're in Hollywood and you'd like to hire me, and that's right, I'm just like, I know I'm not going to get discovered on here. But anyway, just having some peach tea here with just a splash of whiskey in there. Just see what it tastes like. It's not bad. It's not overpowering, which is good. Good peach tea. As you can tell, I'm wearing this shirt here, which was a 45th anniversary commemorative shirt that Anna got me for my birthday, which was a couple weeks ago. And this glass is also here for the booze. Yes, and I have some booze in here, so that fits. I also got this boo bucket, as well as this little ghost bucket here too. So we're big Halloween people, Big Halloween people. Not just Halloween the movie, but Halloween over and all. We're actually going as the Munsters this year, so that should be a lot of fun. But speaking of Halloween, ding, 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 I just want to come on here and talk, because obviously, remember, I did a lot of pitches for all the Halloween movies and stuff like that. And I kind of ignored, because the trilogy had just finished, the most recent one. And I didn't want to talk about what was going to happen next or where we were going with it, But I thought, now that the time has passed, a year's gone by, and there's more news recently. It is... Who got the rights? Who was it? Miramax. Miramax got the rights to the Halloween franchise. So they are apparently working on developing a TV series. Is probably the next step, which, they're already doing a Friday the 13th series for Peacock. We got Chucky. So, horror scenes and Scream had a TV series at one point, so... it seemed like a natural progression. So I thought maybe we could talk about that. I don't know if it's not a full pitch necessarily, but kind of where do you think it'll go? Well, here are a couple options, and I've seen several other people have done videos kind of like this about here's best ways to go about it and all that stuff. But let's talk about it for a minute. Let's talk about Halloween, Haddonfield. I'm wondering if it'll be called Halloween, or if it'll be called Haddonfield, or it'll be called Michael Myers, or what, Now, I think, the obvious thing is Michael Myers is probably going to be involved. Let's just lay that on the table. As much as I do think going the anthology route would be a great idea, I don't know if that's what they're going to do. Because I know the Akkads are very Michael Myers-centric. I know his dad was. I don't know if his son is or not. But so, which is fine. Even John Carpenter says there's tons of places Michael Myers could go. So... he's at least on board with that too. But yeah, I think there's definitely options in terms of where you go. Like I said, my personal pitch, like I said, anthology. Maybe do something with Michael Myers to start us off, just to get the fans in. But the anthology route, even for non-horror things like Fargo and stuff like that, have had that anthology thing, or Black Mirror, things like that, where it's not the same cast, the same story. Why not go that route? And here's a couple of things I'd say they shouldn't do. If you're gonna, I would say, here's how I would start it. If you're gonna go with let's go say we're going the Michael Myers route. We're not going the anthology route. Although Season of the Witch should have some, let's visit that again. But at the same time, you don't want to just repeat, because it's just like seeing the Spider-Man Uncle Ben death, over again, or Batman's parents. You're kind of like, okay, we know how this happens. We all know what happened with Michael Myers. He kills his sister, and his parents show up, and that's, what it is. Now, in Rob Zombie, he killed parents, too, and all this other stuff. But we're not talking about Rob Zombie. So, I saw a bunch of people in the comments when they saw it. They're like, just keep David Gordon Green and Danny McBride away from it. And I'm like, they said they were done, guys. They're done with their trilogy. They're not, calm down. I still think Halloween Ends got way too much hate. I get the criticisms for the whole Corey character and all that. I get it. But I still liked it. That's just my opinion. You can feel free to not like it. That is totally your prerogative. But I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was fine. I thought the trilogy as a whole was fine. And it had some ridiculous moments. Absolutely. Halloween Ends, certainly. Evil dies tonight. But, ridiculous. But, damn it if I didn't have a good time in the theater, though. So, and to me, if you're going out to the theater to see something, you should have a good time. You shouldn't be like, oh, this sucks, But yeah, I think that, it'd be interesting to see what they go with. But one thing I definitely would do, I would say this much. If you're going to go with him as a kid, if you're going to go into his origins somewhat, what I would do is just, if you have to repeat history a little bit, okay, you killed the sister thing, but just go right to that. No elementary school bullying, no evil voices in his head, or the Thorn cult or anything stupid like that. Then just stay away from that shit. Although I will say that if you wanted to go the anthology route and go, there's another way to go too. You could also go the anthology route, but anthology of Michael Myers route, different storylines, different timelines. You could go that route too. You could be like, okay, here's this season we're going to do the timeline of the original, or this time we're going to go the timeline of the Thorn thing. This time we're going to go timeline of some Rob Zombie stuff, or it's whatever the case. I think there's interesting ways to go about that. You could absolutely, or the HBO timeline, or whatever. I don't know why you want to do a resurrection one, but there's ways you could go if you wanted to go that way. But I think that you have to. The best thing they can do is do almost what Rob Zombie did good. Was have the opening kill and then go to the asylum, and just that's what you start off with. That way you get your opening kill. It's a big transition from my husband. No parents have to die, just a sister. Let's stick with just a sister, because you get, it's more of a shock when he just kills his sister, as opposed to, he killed his whole family. It's like that. Then it just feels like he's already started off being a serial killer, as opposed to just okay, he killed his sister and stopped talking, and there's a big thing there. I think one good idea that Rob Zombie had was exploring the, Smith's Grove thing. And I would kind of use that first season to just kind of build the Loomis and Michael Myers professional relationship. It's not really a professional relationship, but, the doctor-patient thing. The tricky thing there with the TV show is that Michael Myers doesn't really talk. So whoever's playing Michael Myers, young Michael Myers, older Michael Myers, they're not going to talk at all. So any scenes you have with them, it's not like you'd be like, so what do you think, Michael? Rob Zombie had his kid talk a little bit, and then he stopped talking eventually. But and that's the thing too. That's a route you could go too. You could start with him talking and then gradually just stop talking. As he descends more into being evil. I think that's the best route to go. Is you go with Smith's Grove. Focus on that. I would build the first season just around him being in the asylum, and then maybe do a couple time jumps here and there as the season goes on, just to kind of build up to him breaking out and stuff. But and really playing the Loomis, because I think in a lot of ways Michael Myers and Loomis have very much almost a Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster kind of dynamic to them, especially with the sequels and stuff. So it's not the exact same type of thing, because he didn't resurrect Michael Myers, but with a dead body or anything like that. But I think there's a dynamic for a modern kind of thing. I think it kind of works. And that'd be an interesting thing. See, I think they definitely have to get somebody. If they're gonna have Loomis, they should definitely have someone who's got some gravitas as an actor, older actor, at least middle age, at least. Would be cool. I don't know if you could get him, but Kurt Russell would be interesting. He's older. I think he would fit the dynamic. I think it would be an interesting role for him to tackle. And if John Carpenter, who knows, John Carpenter could be involved as a producer or something. You never know. He's involved in the trilogy as a producer and music and stuff. So you got to get John Carpenter for the music for sure. Get him to do some music, because he's really good at that shit. I'm interested to see. He has a series on Peacock that's sort of half kind of documentary style, half storyline or reenactment stuff, which I've heard came out on Peacock. We haven't got our Peacock set up yet, but once that's set up, I plan on watching it, because that's, it's John Carpenter, for God's sakes. Like you said, The Thing is still one of my favorite horror films ever. just amazingly great. Just what a freaking great movie. I don't know how the hell that. I mean, I know it came out at the same time as E.T., so I get that, but like, how did that get such bad reviews? Like, I know there's people who obviously just like us nowadays, with people in the '80s, like, why are they remaking that shit? But still, the '50s movie is fine for what it is, and the time and the technology they had at that time. But come on, guys, and it's not, the thing itself is not fully a remake of the thing from the other Earth or whatever, because it's actually more focused a little bit more in the book a little bit, and there's like tons of, I know they were talking about another adaptation of that too, but we're not talking about the Thing. This is not a Thing series, Adam. Focus here. But yeah, so that is a way to go. Like I said, I would go with going the Smith Grove route, and then you kind of build up to him breaking out and stuff, and I also really focus on Loomis and like his realization that, oh boy, this guy needs to stay locked up. He should never get out. He is pure evil. You know, the blackest eyes, you know, like he has right here. See? I mean, that's a mask, but still, you know. But yeah, I think that's probably the best route they can do. Now, they could also, like I said, anthology is still a good idea. You still have, there's tons of ways you can go about it. You know, even if you're not going to follow the Jamie storyline with Danielle Harris, give Danielle Harris back. You know, give her some kind of role in there. I mean, she's, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis has had kind of her time and coming back and stuff, you know, between H2O and the recent trilogy. It's like, and she's done. She's wrapped up her Larry Strode character and all that. That's another thing. You have to get somebody good for Larry Strode. But, like, I wouldn't even really introduce Larry Strode right away, because I think you need to have some time to kind of let, you know, that simmer from what we just had. So, but I would wait on Laurie Strode. Like, you know, maybe she'll be a background character, or maybe even like the season finale. Oh, there's Laurie Strode, you know. That would play with the time jump a little bit. But, like, I would definitely not go right away to, like, Laurie Strode's here. But, yeah, because you're going to have to get somebody good for Laurie Strode, too. Nothing against Scout Taylor Compton, but she just... she's not a bad actress, but she didn't really do it for me as Laurie Strode, just personally. Danielle Harris was good, though. And I think she's really committed to the franchise and stuff. And you can give Scout Taylor Compton something in there, too, but, like, maybe not Laurie Strode. Just because, and that's not her fault. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, it's just like when you're like, well, I played this role, but guess what? Laurence Olivier also played this role. You know, it's like, oh, well, no. Robert Redford played the role first. I'm sorry. You have to follow that. And not that you can't, because I mean, you know, Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson was pretty good, but the Joker, and Joaquin Phoenix too, but then, you know, I think there has to be like, there was a shadow of sorts, you know. It's like when you're playing a character that's already kind of iconic, played by an iconic actor. It's just like, there's a great, just a sidebar, like, there's a great scene from The Best of Phil Hartman where he's playing in The King and I, and, you know, this is after Yul Brynner has had his big run as a King and I, and meanwhile, he doesn't shave his head, he's got hair, and he does, and it's like a whole bunch of different things, and he's like, there's nothing in the book that says he has bald. There's nothing in the book that says he has to do this, you know? And so it's just kind of funny because he has to keep following this iconic actor who gave this iconic performance and won a bunch of, you know. So I think that's kind of what you have to go for, too. So it's like, no, granted, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis didn't win awards for that, and Donald Pleasance didn't win awards, but they were still pretty acclaimed. People in the horror community especially, or even just moviegoers in general, can definitely say Donald Pleasance was excellent as Loomis, and Jamie Lee Curtis was great as Laurie Strode. So it's like, you know, that helped build the movies, because Michael Myers doesn't talk, so it's not like you have your bad guy like Freddy cracking jokes. But yeah, so that way I say, if you're gonna go the Michael Myers route, start at Smith's Grove, like opening kill, start at Smith's Grove, build from there. And yeah, depending on how many seasons they go, whether they're gonna lead into another movie series. As I said before, I still think there's there's some mining gold there. You could still follow the you know, 4, maybe ignore 5, I don't know. Like, start at 4, like follow 4 up and just pretend like 5 didn't happen. If you want to go that requel route, you know, give Danielle Harris give her flowers, you know, as the old saying goes. But like, yeah, but she's been committed. She goes to the fan fest. She's committed. You know, I think she loves the horror fans. I think, you know, it'd be a nice give to her too, especially if it's gonna be a TV series and, you know, they're not gonna go the movie route. Yeah, why not? You know, it's not as big as, or I guess streaming technically, but like, you know, I think, you know, why not? give some love back. I mean, we think of all the people they brought back for Halloween Kills, from the original series and stuff like that, or characters at least. Some of them were the same actors, but why not? Let's do it. All options are on the table. But yeah, the other route would be, of course, like I said, anthology, Season of the Witch. That's all I'm saying. Season of the Witch. I would love to see them tackle Season of the Witch and maybe even update it a little bit. Maybe even and when I say update, it doesn't mean like modern things, but like, but more of just like maybe some things that didn't work about it, like change that a little bit and maybe even expand the story a little bit. I think there was more to go with that, Like you could spread that out into a TV show if you wanted to, like, build some blocks. I've always had this idea for like, what was it? Was it They Live? Oh yeah, I had an idea for a couple series. But They Live as a series would be fun. Like, imagine that. I mean, it'd be hard to top Brad Piper, but but seriously, like They Live as a streaming series, absolutely work. I always thought Night of the Comet would be fun too. If you ever seen Night of the Comet, check it out. It's a great freaking movie, and yeah, it's really good. You want a good woman empowerment movie? There you go, right there. Night of the Comet. Badass women. And great actresses too. I really like them. And that was very inspirational to the Buffy series, actually. So check that out. But yes, Michael Myers Halloween series coming sometime. We don't know when exactly. I'm sure they're going to take their time with it, and I hope they do. We got the writer's strike over with. We just get the actor's strike over with, and we can get back to business and get these things really fully developed and get things well written. But yeah, just really full written. Don't go crazy with it. Don't go stupid with it. Even if you like the Thorn storyline, you have to admit it was kind of ridiculous. Like, it's just like, I mean, there were ways to do something like that with the whole curse thing, but like, I just feel like it was kind of goofy. And it was just like, wait, what? Because the whole thing with Michael Myers and the whole boogeyman thing is that we don't know why the hell he's evil. Like, why did he stab his sister? There's like no rhyme or reason. He wasn't abused. He wasn't bullied. He wasn't psychologically damaged. He just seemed like a normal kid in a Midwestern town, and he killed his sister. And then he wears a mask, and doesn't speak, and he's creepy, and he kills babysitters, and that's just what he does, and he's got a rage inside of him. Then that's kind of the like I said, I think it's much, as I said before, it's much scarier to not know why the hell this person is evil, or this thing is evil, this shape, than it is to be like, well, let me give you a full backstory on why they're evil. Because, see, what happened was, this guy called him fat, and that really upset him, and so he butchered his sister. Like stupid things like that, like stuff like that. It just it's kind of the almost Disney villain thing that they do nowadays, where it's just like, hey, this is an evil villain from the original cartoon. Let's make them misunderstood. Because they did this stuff because they were misunderstood. It wasn't their fault that they were evil or hurt people, or Cruella de Vil wanted to skin the puppies and all that, but we're going to not acknowledge that in the live action thing, because a Dalmatian killed her mother. What? Like that Snow White movie that's coming out. That's just, I won't rant about it too much, but I'm already expecting that. Like Gal Gadot's witch will probably be sympathetic in some way, along with the rest of the terrible movie that's going to happen. A community leader. What the fuck? Anyway, so hopefully. Like I said, I'm hopeful for it, guys. Like I said, I always like Michael Myers. I always like Halloween. I do think it's interesting they're going to go the TV series route. And I think, in a way, it is smart, because it is like, I think we've kind of gone the movie route a lot, and we just had a trilogy, so I think it's best to let that rest a little bit, do the TV series, and then, see how that goes. If that's successful and that does well, okay, maybe you can get to another movie series. You can go a different way. And there's definitely different ways you can go with Michael Myers, too. It doesn't have to keep going back to the Laurie Strode thing, too. Like I said, you could easily not have Laurie Strode in the story at all. You could do a brand new story, focus on Haddonfield. I always had the thought of, like, what if Haddonfield was not only haunted by Michael Myers, but this town itself was, like, affected. And they kind of did a little bit with the trilogy with how the town was affected by it, but, like, not like how the town, like, oh, they're so up, but, like, have some creepy shit around this. It just feels like a creepy town. After Michael Myers has been there, that's kind of like they leave that ambiance and that evilness of this, like, a town that just constantly has evil shit happening. So it doesn't have to just be. That's why I said about the anthology thing, because then you have like evil shit happening in Haddonfield, There's different ways. There's tons of ways to go. Maybe he goes in space. I don't know. Probably not. Everybody goes to space eventually. Freddy in space. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on the potential Halloween TV series. Should everything go as planned. And yeah, I hope it works out for him. Hopefully it comes from one of the streaming services that I have, which I have many of them. I said Apple TV is like the only one I don't have. Because we almost have Peacock. We just have to get it sorted out. And we have Amazon, and I have Shudder through that, and I have Paramount Plus through that, because I had Showtime through that. I have Hulu, I have Netflix, and Disney Plus, which we just watched Loki. See the second episode. Good stuff. Yeah, cool, guys. Those are my thoughts, and check out the shirt, and like and subscribe, and watch those reenactment, guys. All right, have a good night.